How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Madridista Minute. I'm your host, Alex, and today we're just going to be going through some news. Wednesday, Champions League day, so we're just going to go through some Real Madrid news and a preview of tomorrow's game against Shakhtar Donetsk at home. And but before we get into news, because the news is it's a little weak, I just wanted to address the game over the weekend against Cadiz. Because I've seen a lot of criticism on Twitter and by our own fans and by other fans, obviously, which other fans of other Spanish clubs really have no right to do that. But anyway, so we'll go with the team selection first. Obviously, we were missing Odegaard first of all, which it shouldn't be an excuse because he wasn't with the team last year. We won the league last year, blah, blah, blah. And we're facing a team that was in second place in the Segunda last year. So there's not really any excuse. Yeah, there's no excuse for a 1-0 defeat, first of all. And there's no excuse for like Zidane's team selection, I guess. But we did play shit, especially in the first half. We played really bad. I mean, I think they came into the game really complacent and expecting that the game can come to them and they could just counter and be lazy. But it didn't work out like that. We had some players, especially the South American players, rested, especially in the first half. Casemiro, Rodrigo, Valverde, which are three starters that probably would have started. I'm not sure about Rodrigo, but definitely the other two. And then some of the starters we did have, like Ramos, Cruz, Marcelo, but Marcelo didn't really go on international duty. I was talking about Modric. They are players that are getting older now, and they also went on international duty. They played earlier in the week, and they were trusted upon to do a job, which they did not execute. I'm not making excuses for the players, but I'm giving a reason as to why you shouldn't have been as surprised. The other team did play really well, but in the second half they came on. Zidane made 4 subs. He almost switched. 4 subs at halftime is him coming out and saying, "Okay, we're gonna come out and we're gonna freaking win this game. We're gonna attack it now." So we brought on the players that were in South America over the week. We brought on Valverde, Casemiro, and Asensio. I'm not really sure why Asensio didn't start. He could have started, but I'm looking in hindsight, obviously, in hindsight 2020. Like anything could have happened. If they went on with Lucas Vazquez and Lucas Vazquez scored a hat-trick, like he's so well known for scoring hat-tricks, then we wouldn't be criticizing him right now and we'd all be happy in first place. What was I'm just reading my notes here. Sorry. So the other team, they came out and played really well. It's not a mistake that they're ahead of Barcelona and Atletico in the league. I mean, they've taken points from, I believe it was Atletico Bilbao, and they took points from another team. So this team was coming out and they were playing aggressive from the get-go. Still no excuse. I'm not giving an excuse for losing 1-0. We're Real Madrid and we don't need... Just because we didn't have some players doesn't mean that it's an excuse to go and lose to a fucking second division side. But for the people that I saw that were criticizing Zidane, saying, "Why are you rotating the team? You have to come up with a starting 11 and play that starting 11. Shut the fuck up. You know why? Because last year when we went on a 15 game unbeaten run to go and win the league, every week we were using different players. Asensio was coming back from injury. We were Modric, which nobody trusted Modric when we were coming out of quarantine. Marcelo was rotating with Mendy. I mean, it's just... Obviously, we have a strong starting 11, and that was the starting 11 that played against Man City, other than Ramos. And I'll get into Ramos's injury a little bit later. But rotating the team... Hey, you weren't criticizing it when he was winning, so you're only going to criticize it now? That's being really cowardly. And, like, I have the jersey other side. I have the jersey there for a reason, and that's because I am backing the manager 100%. I don't know how people are criticizing this man because he lost one game 1-0, an unlucky game. I mean, we had an offside goal that was Benzema's fault for being offside. He's usually not like that. But other than that, there's not really any excuse. I mean, I fully expect them to come back and beat Shakhtar during the week, and then we'll have a nice game over the weekend against Barcelona, who also lost, which makes me feel a lot better about the result. All right, so that was the game over the weekend. Just shut the fuck up. That's pretty much what I'm saying. If you're trying to criticize the team and criticize the players and saying we don't have goal scorers, it didn't stop us last year. Obviously, we didn't make signings and there was a lack of ambition this year. Not a lack of ambition, because you know what we're going to do over this summer. I guarantee they're going to go after players like Mbappe, Upamecano, and Camavinga. I think those are the three main targets this summer. And everybody took a pay cut, other than Bale, which I'm not going to get to right now. Well, that's reportedly, I'm not sure, but I'm not going to get into that. But everyone took a pay cut. They're saving money. They didn't make any transfers. So next summer, that's when there's going to be ambition, real ambition. So if they go and win the league this year on no transfers, then all of you people that were doubting Zidane, because if we win the league this year, that's all up to Zidane and his tactics, because all the other teams spent money except for Real Madrid. So if we still go and win, that's down to tactics and down to obviously the players being better. All right. Anyway, let's get into the news. There was news that I saw, I believe it was yesterday, coming out of England, that there might be a swap with Pogba and Federico Valverde, because Man City went and got Cavani and they got another young Uruguayan winger, Palestri, that I think played at the same team that Valverde played at. So that's might be where the news is coming from. I don't believe Real Madrid's interested. I think they're interested in Pogba, but I don't think they're interested in getting rid of Valverde. That might be Manchester United's kind of way of getting rid of Pogba and not really losing much. But I don't think Real Madrid is interested in getting rid of Valverde. I mean, especially if you're looking at a straight swap, I don't think Valverde is near the price that Pogba is. I think Pogba might not even be okay. I'm biased coming from Real Madrid, but Pogba might not even be half of what Valverde is worth, especially in the coming years. Everyone will see. So if we go on and get Pogba, do I want Pogba at Real Madrid? Probably not, because Pogba for France, if you watch France games, he is absolutely consistent. He fits into any team, including Real Madrid. Any team would be happy to have him on his day. On his day is the main point, because at Manchester United he is vastly inconsistent. I was just watching the game today against PSG. He came off the bench for about 20 minutes and played really well. He played really well over the weekend off the bench. Do we need Pogba off the bench? Do we really? No. If he can become a starter at Manchester United and he still doesn't want to sign a new contract, then sure, I'll take Pogba, not for a Valverde switch. Valverde shouldn't be going anywhere, and I'm putting my stamp of approval on that one. So yeah, team sheet came out today for the game tomorrow against Shakhtar. No Ramos, he got injured over the weekend. So looks like Militao will be playing once again. Last time he played, I believe, was against. Well, he played over the weekend in the second half. Played really well. That was another player that came in at halftime that I forgot about. He played really well after halftime. He played really well against Man City. People would criticize and were looking at Varane that game, but Militao quietly had a really good game, and he's really grown into his position at Manchester United, at Real Madrid. Yeah, so he's not the worst replacement, especially for one game. Hopefully we have Ramos back for El Clasico. Obviously we want him. But for one game, I don't think Militao will be the worst, and we really can't say, all right, now we have Militao, we don't have Ramos, we're going to go and lose against Shakhtar. That's not a fucking excuse. So let's look ahead to Shakhtar tomorrow I'm in Canada, so it'll be in the afternoon. I guess it'll be in the evening in Spain and England and all those places. Game shouldn't be a problem on paper. I think Zidane will come out aggressive with his team selection, especially after what happened over the weekend. He wants to prove a point, so I don't know what I would do. I think they played really well with Jovic and Benzema. Obviously, Jovic has been not the word is he's been. I can't come up with my word. He's been really. It's not disappointing, but almost disappointing, to the point where you wouldn't want him because he's a striker and he's not scoring goals, which is his job. He scored over the weekend. Obviously, it was offside and it was not his fault, but he was in the right position there. I think he is really unappreciated for his link-up play. That's something that's not talked about too much. But yeah, so maybe if they play the two strikers and Isco played really well over the weekend. I don't think he deserved to come off. He was one of the only players in the first half that was using his ability. I mean, the players, I'm going to go back to it quickly. The players, all they had to do was really show their ability against the other team. And I think because they were so much technically better. I don't even know what I'm saying, but they were. And I don't think there's any reason that they could have just gotten the ball. Vinicius could have gotten the ball, ran at 1-2 people. They were trying to play to their tactics, and I think that's what Zidane told them at halftime. And fair play. I'm not the coach, obviously. But if they just used their ability and ran at the other team and were aggressive and just played it to them, and then 1-2 passes when you're in the box and that's it, instead of trying these little, like if you saw the offside goal, that is tactically absolutely perfect, other than the offside, obviously. But they didn't need that. All they had to do was run at them, and Isco was doing that, going back to Isco. So maybe Isco, obviously Vinicius does not deserve to be benched. So even if they play maybe with Vinicius coming in from the left and Jovic or Benzema coming in from the right as a center forward or a false nine, he's going to be aggressive with his team selection. So other than that, I think we'll have to play Mendy beside Militao just to keep that side more secure, especially because Marcelo will be attacking and he doesn't have his best friend Ramos to bail him out sometimes when he's caught too far up the pitch. Courtois was injured on international duty, but he's fine. He already played over the weekend, and he played pretty well. Who else? It'll probably be Casemiro, Valverde. If they play the 4-4-2, it could be Casemiro, Valverde, Modric, and Isco. If they play the 4-3-3, then it can be Valverde, Modric, Casemiro, or Valverde. Kroos didn't play too well over the weekend. That was something that I was surprised with, because you don't see that from him very often. But yeah, so we'll see what happens. That's pretty much it. I'll be back around the same time tomorrow after we hopefully beat Shakhtar 8-0. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoy. Subscribe, like, all that stuff. We'll be making much more videos like this, hopefully daily. And yeah, we'll go from there. Alright, take it easy, guys. Peace.